Do expensive tools make you a better woodworker? Hey, what do you reckon? So here I am yet again asking another unpopular opinion. Do you think better tools make you a better woodworker? Does the tool make it the man, or does the man make it the tool, right? You tell me. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you will know that I am a big proponent of not spending a massive amount of money where it doesn't need to be spent. I run a business, I've got a family to look after, so I can't go spunking my money left, right and centre on things that I don't need or I don't think that are a good buy. You might notice that I've got some Parkside tools kicking around, I've got some Trend tools kicking around, and I have some very expensive bits of workshop kit. All of that being said, there are things in here that are expensive, but I could have spent way more money on and not really got a huge amount of return from. Dual drum sander is one of them. I think they run to like £2,500–3,500. If I'd gone for a wide belt sander, I wouldn't have got any more capacity, it wouldn't have been any better for me, but it would have cost me about 5 times the amount. You might be sitting there saying, Josh, I've seen you got Festool gear, you got Merca gear, you got some nice DeWalt, you got some Maketh. Yes, I do. Like I said, I spend the money where I think that I need to spend it. That is why my finishing gear, like my sander, my extractor, my workshop extractor, my big workshop sanders, they're all really expensive kit because ultimately the finishing is what makes the product as far as I'm concerned. So, does spending extra money make you a better woodworker, right? That's what we're here to discuss. In my opinion, no, it doesn't. As far as I'm concerned, right, if I'm really honest with you, you look at some of the older furniture, some of the stuff that was made in the 50s and 60s, 100, 200 years ago, absolutely beautiful. And it was made without power tools. So if you can make that sort of product without power tools, then everybody should be able to make that sort of product without power tools if they put the time in. I don't necessarily think there's any need to really spend a huge amount of money as long as it does the job. I think the reason that you end up spending more money is because it should be a time saving or because it's ease of use. I mean, there is the argument, like if you just want to go spend the money, then go spend the money. But as a business, I can't just go spunk money left, right and centre. I need to focus it where it's best used. As an example, I used the Shapak track saw for about 7 or 8 years now, and it died. I bought a second-hand Festool track saw for like 200 quid, and it came with 4 tracks. 4 tracks, can you believe that? I've got an awesome deal there. But there's no need for me to buy a brand new saw. It works, it's going to keep going. Why bother spending the extra money? I have some Parkside kit back here. Like I said, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that. I use lumberjack machinery. It's not the most expensive machinery, but man, does it do the job. And it looks after me when I need it to look after me. Are you one of those people who thinks that you need to spend the extra money? I have a question for you, right? Do you think that by spending the extra money, you're going to get a better product at the end of it? There is an argument to be said that if you spend more money, the job is easier. And then if the job is easier, then it's going to be a better product at the end of it. I don't really sort of subscribe to that sort of thought because I don't have a lot of nice gear in here. I mean, like for some of you at home, you would be like, Josh, I'd kill for a workshop like yours. And I understand that. I really, really do. However, in terms of like a professional carpentry joinery shop, I don't have anything really that's super duper nice. I just get by with what I've got and do what I've got because that's who I am. Let's take the track saw as an example, right? Is there a massive difference between the Festool and the Shapak? Not really. To be honest with you, if anything, the Festool sort of struggles to cut through certain things that the Shapak just smashed right through. Now, that might be because I need to stick a decent blade on it. That might be because it's old, but it is nicer to use. I like the fact that to adjust the depth of cut, you just squeeze it and lift it instead of like mucking around with a bloody bit of plastic that forever gets stuck. But up until the point that it broke, I didn't need a new one. Right? I could just motor on through. It's just cutting just fine, doesn't tear out, doesn't chip out, doesn't cut off on an angle. Just worked just perfectly fine. So it broke in the middle of a job, and do you know what I used to finish the job off? I spoke to my brother-in-law and used his Parkside plunge saw. That's what I finished the job off with. And do you know what? The job came out perfect. You've got an £80 saw when it's at Lidl's, or you've got a £800 saw. And I did just as good job as that one with this one. So you might ask yourself, Josh, why did you end up getting the Festool saw? And it was because the price was right for me. If I wanted to go get another Shapak, they were running about £150, £160. And then obviously it wasn't a huge amount more for me to get that Festool. And obviously Festool should be quality tooling, should be able to get more time out of it. The price was right, so I went with it. As I said before, I definitely think that there is a time and a place to spend the extra money. You might have seen the videos of me using the Lamelo Z2. That tool saves me so much time, it's unbelievable. When I first bought it, we were doing a whole bunch of panel glue ups. I think I had maybe 30 or 40 panels, maybe even might have been 60, regardless. And instead of having to glue and clamp every single one, all I had to do was like pop a few connectors in, pop the glue on, pop it together, done. Initially I quoted on that job that it was going to take me 3 days to do all the clamping and gluing, and I think I did it in around about 2.5 hours. So a massive saving in time, which effectively saved me money, which then paid for the machine. I think one of the things that people kind of forget, right, is that when you spend that extra money on the tool, it needs to give you extra added value. Now, a lot of people look at that value as it makes me feel good, right? So you can go buy a car that does 200 miles an hour, you're never going to drive it at 200 miles an hour, but it makes you feel good because it can. That's absolutely fine. I fully understand where you're coming from, and if that's what you want to do, by all means go for it. But go into it with an open mind, right? Go into it with your eyes open and understand that it is not necessarily going to make you a better woodworker. Now, if you are working and it makes you happy and then you're less stressed, you've got less anxiety, then okay, yeah, fair enough, there's an argument that will make you a better woodworker. But in reality, I think you are better off using the lower end tools, figuring out the process, understanding how you can work and how you can't work, understanding your skills, and improving those skills as and when you see that you've got deficiencies in them. Because ultimately, that's the way that you get better, right? Identifying your problems, figuring out what the fix is, and then getting on with it. I don't necessarily think it's about going and spending a massive wad of money on another tool. But again, this is just my unpopular opinion, right? So, that being said, please let me know what you think below. Please let me know if you think I'm talking rubbish. Be nice about it, don't be hard. We're all grown-ups, but I am genuinely interested in what you've got to say. And if you've got an opinion on it, back it up. Tell me what you think it makes you a better woodworker, and I am all ears for it. Alright guys, you have a great day, take it easy, and I shall catch you on the next one.